select tools in Google SketchUp. The first thing I'm going to show you are the orbit and pan tools. The orbit and pan tools are located at the top of your screen, and these help move around the software program. So the way to use them is the orbit and pan. If you select the orbit tool, you can go ahead and go all the way under and over the picture frame. And then the pan tool, which is the hand, that will go ahead and be able to move just left and right or up and down depending on how your hand is moving. But you're not going to be able to go under or around the program. When you are using the program, you have three key axes that you're going to be looking at. The first over here is your blue axis. This is going to be your vertical axis, and then anything that's lined up with the blue line is going to be showing something that is straight up and down. You also have two horizontal axes, one going back and forth and then one going side to side. So these axes are really important. As we use some of the tools, some of these colors will pop up, and going with the axes is always a good choice. So today we're going to start off with our basic shape tools, which are located on the upper part of our toolbar. We're first going to start with our square or rectangle tool. When you use the tool, you're going to click and drag along the base, and when you release the mouse, it'll fill it in with your shape. When you use the circular tool, what you're going to do is you're first going to click once to place the circle. You can drag your mouse in and out to go ahead and determine the size of your circle. And once you've determined how big you want the diameter of the circle, you would click the mouse again to set your circle shape. I'm going to go ahead and orbit and zoom. You can use the zoom to go closer or farther away. I'm going to go a little bit farther away so that I can see more of the ground. And the last one we're going to look at is our polygon. Now when you select the polygon, an important part of this is knowing the sides, which is on the bottom part of our screen, will tell you how many sides the polygon is going to have. Once you click into your program using the polygon, the amount of sides that are located in that side box is the amount of sides that you're going to click. Now if I wanted to change the sides of my polygon, I need to do this before clicking into the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and select my sides. You can go ahead and do an 8-sided polygon or a 5. I'll do a 5. When you press return, it will go ahead and change the edges of your polygon. Now I have a pentagon, a 5-sided polygon, and it sets into your program the same as the circle. So you're going to click to set the center, drag your mouse in and out to go ahead and determine the width of your shape, and then once you like the size, you'll go ahead and click one more time to go ahead and set the shape. Now when you are making your shapes, you want to make sure that all of your items, your buildings, your shapes are all in proportion to the little guy that's in the corner. I always keep the guy because if you make your items too big, later when you add textures, they won't show up. Also, when you're importing items, they're all in proportion to this guy. So we want to make sure that we are keeping him here and that he just is used as a measurement tool. So don't delete the guy. The next thing we're going to learn is our push and pull tool. The push and pull tool is located at the top of our toolbar, and it looks like a 3-dimensional tool with a red arrow. And the way we use this is you just hover over a shape, and then you will click and drag your shapes to make it 3-dimensional. Now the push and pull tool works up and down. You can also push and pull the side or the other side. Notice that when I'm hovering over the push and pull tool, the side becomes dotted, that means that that area is selected and that's what's going to be activated. And you can push and pull any of your shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cylinder and my three-dimensional polygon. So now I have all three of my forms all created using the push and pull tool. The cool thing about the push and pull tool, again over here, so I can also activate my polygon, and I can push and pull even the sides of the polygon to make a more interesting shape. So when you think about interesting forms for a building or a house or a car or anything, you can really do a lot of great things with the push and pull tool. Now going to the line tool, the line tool draws lines on a side or surface that you are working on. I'm going to go ahead and work on this rectangle on the side of my interesting polygon. When you use the line tool, which is this pencil tool right here, you want to always make sure that you are connecting an edge to an edge. Notice when I am hovering over, it'll tell me that I'm on an edge. So I will click, and you can go ahead and draw a line across. It'll say on edge. I'll click again. I can make another line in the center. So on edge, I'm going to go click and click. And I can do it again over here. Click and click. So you always want to wait for those little sticky notes to pop up to let you know that you're on an edge. If your line doesn't close and create a complete shape, you won't be able to use the push and pull tool. Now that I've created a shape, I could even do a shape or a line down here. I can now use the push and pull tool to create a staircase or an interesting stair shape, or just an interesting side of a building. So you can see how just by drawing lines on the side of a building, in addition to the push and pull tool, you can make a very interesting side of a building with some shapes. The last thing we're going to just cover today is our select tool. The select tool is the black arrow in the corner. There are a few ways to select an item. You can do a single click on a line. Notice that it highlighted in blue. You could also single click a side, which just selects the side but doesn't select the edges of the side. Now if I double click it, I'm going to do a two click, 1, 2. I've now selected entire side in addition to the edges of my shape. And the last thing I will do is a triple click. In a triple click, 1, 2, 3, will select an entire form. In addition to this, I can add to my selection by holding down the Shift key. So I'm holding down the Shift key on my keyboard, and I can triple click this, and I can triple click that. Now say I wanted to deselect an item, I can press Option, or actually you just select Shift again, and then you can triple click again. So notice that there is the plus and minus sign next to it, so I can just hold down Shift and add and subtract a whole shape.